has been broken. Yes, the Indiana Fever 2026 schedule has been released, and guess who they play first? Paige Beckers. So all of the people that thought this whole Angel Reese thing and Caitlin thing, that whole storyline is over with in my book. I feel like the Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese storyline is over. It was fun while it lasted, but now,
The Indiana Fever just unveiled their full 44-game schedule for the 2026 season. And while it looks like a routine basketball announcement on the surface, there's a much bigger story hiding underneath. This isn't about dates or matchups. It's about leverage. Buried in the schedule is a calculated power play by the league, one that quietly shifts momentum in the CBA negotiations. Without press conferences, threats, or headlines, the league just boxed the players in and forced their hand, all without firing a single shot.
Look like it's in Indy, and they will be playing Paige Beckers and the Wings. After that, they got to go to LA to play the Sparks, Cameron Brink and Kelsey Plum. Then they come back to Indy for Washington. Then they got a 1, 2, 3, 4 game.
On May 9th at 1 p.m., Paige Beckers and the Dallas Wings step into Gainbridge Fieldhouse for opening night. But the real story isn't the matchup, it's the timing. This schedule dropped at the exact moment Breanna Stewart was telling reporters her head was spinning from CBA negotiations, and that's no coincidence. The message from the WNBA is clear. The league is moving forward, deal or no deal. And by doing that publicly, they just flipped the leverage equation on its head.
The 2026 Indiana Fever regular season schedule has been announced. The Indiana Fever has unveiled its complete 44-game schedule. Tickets will go on sale Thursday, January 22nd at 2 p.m. The Fever will open up the season Saturday, May the 9th at Gainbridge, playing the Wings at 1 p.m.
ESPN's Alexa Filippo spelled out what this actually means, saying, "Releasing the schedule is a necessary part of business operations that allows teams to start logistically planning, sell ticket packages, and secure optional arena dates." Translation: ownership is deliberately creating financial gravity. Every ticket sold, every arena date locked in, every sponsor commitment raises the cost of a strike. And with each new obligation, leverage quietly shifts away from the players and straight into the owner's hands.
The schedule released as a necessary part of business operations that allow teams to start logistically planning, sell ticket packages, also to secure optional arena dates, all the more crucial for teams who don't own their own arenas. Now here's my issue, right? Is that we don't know what the viewership is going to look like. We don't know if fans even going to buy tickets. This is a way for them to kind of gauge how their money finna go, and they're probably going to use these ticket sales and all of this stuff to leverage.
Look closely at what's being flagged here. The schedule tells a story. Indiana doesn't see Chicago until June, a clear decision to delay the Angel Reese rivalry matchup. Instead, the Fever are front-loaded with Paige Beckers, the Sparks with De'Erica Hamby and Kelsey Plum, followed by a 4-game homestand that includes the expansion Golden State Valkyries. None of this is accidental. Indiana was given its softest stretch early, a calculated move that allows Caitlin Clark to stack wins, numbers, and MVP momentum before the schedule tightens.
Article that came out early this morning says Breanna Stewart on endless CBA talks, just starting to see end of the tunnel. So Breanna Stewart is pretty much saying that we could be getting close to a deal on this CBA negotiation, man, and I'm gonna be so happy when we do. We get back to a lot of stuff, man. They say Stewart says she can start to see a finish line to labor negotiations for the first time since WNBA players opted out back in 2020.
But here's what this schedule release really does for the league. While Breanna Stewart and the Players Union are pushing for 30% of gross revenue and a salary cap near $10 million, the WNBA has countered that such a deal would produce roughly $700 million in losses. So the league made a smart move, release the schedule and open ticket sales. Once tickets go live on Thursday, January 23rd at 2 p.m., negotiations stop being theoretical. The league gets real-time demand data, what fans are actually willing to pay. If sales lag, that's leverage against the union's demands. If they surge, ownership can argue the current revenue structure is already working. Either way, the data shifts power back to the league.
So, judging by the way all of this is looking, it's looking like the WNBA could be striking a deal hopefully before the end of the month. It's only about 10 days left in January. Now, we've been pretty adamant here on my channel for pretty much telling you guys if they don't get a deal done by March, it's looking spooky for the season. We didn't have the lottery draft, so we got to get caught up on all that. So once these negotiations get done, man, we're going to have a lot of content to put out, man. We got the lottery draft, expansion draft.
In December 2025, the WNBA offered a deal centered on 70% of league revenue, sharing with a $5 million salary cap, and the players' union flatly rejected it, countering with a demand for 30% of gross revenue and a $10 million cap. That's where talks stalled. Ownership cited transparency concerns, the union demanded access to the books, and everything froze until January 9th, when both sides agreed to another extension. But something critical changed after that. Adam Silver publicly floated plans for a women's basketball league in Europe, saying, "We ultimately would like to do a women's league in Europe as well, if we can figure out the correct model." That's not just expansion chatter. It's the NBA signaling it has alternative paths to invest in women's basketball outside the WNBA, a calculated negotiating tactic dressed up as long-term vision.
Over 50 subscribers yesterday, which is amazing that 50 people was unsubscribed from the channel. Over these last few months, I probably lost about 2,000 subscribers. So if you guys are not subscribed, please make sure you are subscribed, man, because you can still get the notifications and not be subscribed. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel, man, please and thank you. Definitely get down in the comment section, let me know y'all thoughts about this.
The math is straightforward now. With only days left in January, a CBA has to be finalized by March, or the entire season framework starts to unravel. The league still needs to run the lottery draft for incoming rookies, execute the expansion drafts for the Golden State Valkyries and Portland, and open free agency, none of which can happen without a completed CBA. By releasing the schedule now, the WNBA effectively started a countdown clock, and the pressure lands squarely on the players, not ownership. The message is clear: we've done our part. We're ready to play. The only remaining question is whether the union will move before time runs out.
And speak with a fan. Yes, speak with a fan, man. Shout out to Christian Palmer. Instead of Caitlin Clark and her parents were staying at the same resort as us, the hosted seated us right next to her at breakfast one morning. I told her we live in Kansas City, and naturally we talked about the Chiefs. LOL. She was nice. My hubby got a pic with her. Wow, bruh. This is major. So this is the picture that her husband got. Kristen Palmer, I believe she's a content creator. Yeah, she is. She's a content.
This is where everything turns personal, especially for Caitlin Clark. While she's enjoying the offseason into the Bahamas moment the schedule dropped, her timeline changed. Because if CBA talks collapse and the season is delayed or canceled, she stands to lose more than anyone. Performance-based Nike bonuses, sold-out arenas, and the viewership surge that justifies her market value all depend on games being played. The Fever know this, which is why their schedule is engineered to maximize her MVP narrative with early marquee matchups, a favorable home stretch, and the Chicago rivalry pushed to June when national attention peaks. But none of that matters without a season. From a business standpoint, the schedule release is the league's masterstroke. Instead of negotiating over projections, the WNBA is forcing the conversation into reality by opening ticket sales, locking in arenas, and creating public commitments from fans, sponsors, and broadcasters. If tickets sell out, ownership can argue the current model works. If they don't, it strengthens their sustainability case. But either way, pressure mounts on the players. Fans are already planning trips and circling May 9th. And if basketball is taken away, public blame won't land on the league that published a schedule. It will land on the union still negotiating. That's why Breanna Stewart saying she can see the end of the tunnel matters. The leverage is shifting. Every day without a deal makes the league look ready and the players look like the obstacle. And in negotiations, perception is power. The smart money says a deal gets done before March, because canceling or delaying a season that's already announced, scheduled, and sold would be a PR disaster that could undo years of momentum. The Fever schedule didn't just drop dates, it dropped a message. Basketball is happening in May. The only remaining question is whether the union moves in time.